I'm AJ Freed, and I'm excited for the end of the school year.
And I'm Michele, and I can't wait for the end of school.
I'm Haley Hepworth, and I've got this week's Around Campus.
Hi, I'm Sean McQuon, and I've got this week in Mepham Sports.
I'm Cumulonimbus Charles with your weekend weather.
Good morning, Mepham. Today is day 3. Please rise and join us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Michele, it's good to finally be back. How was your Passover?
It was pretty good. How was yours?
It was fine. Someone actually told me that you didn't keep kosher the entire time.
I had a really good burger.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Anyway, the Leo Club is collecting socks for homeless veterans. There is a bin in the main foyer. They are also selling Freedom Isn't Free hats for $25. The money will be used to buy sneakers for the veterans. You can also sponsor a hat for a vet for $5. See a Leo or AWOD member.
Attention, the late registration deadline for the May 8th SAT exam is Tuesday, April 20th. You can register online at thecollegeboard.com or by phone. Again, the late registration deadline for the May 8th SAT exam is Tuesday, April 20th.
Next week is going to be the start of the fourth quarter. It is the last quarter in this crazy and unpredictable 2020-2021 school year. So if there's work you still have... Michele? What are you doing?
I have to go to Shirelli.
Now, to some, this school year may have seemed a little bit, never-ending. But as we approach the end of the year, we will soon be able to relax. While Michele does her math, let's go out on location at BMB's Hannah Broxmeyer.
Pause is so short.
Right.
Should I go? With just 2 games left in the 2021 soccer season, the boys soccer team is battling against MacArthur for the top spot in the Nassau County Conference 1A. But that battle is nothing compared to the battle they fought to get back on the field this spring. The Pirates close out the season against the Generals, so the top spot in the conference is still up for grabs. You can keep track of the Pirates and their quest for the top spot here on BMB. From BMB, I'm Hannah Broxmeyer.
Thanks, Hannah. If you want to learn more about the return of sports here at Mepham, Haley Hepworth has the whole story on this week's Midweek Update. Coming up is one of the biggest traditions here at Mepham. It's Mr. Mepham. After a bit of delay from the pandemic, we are happy to announce that Mr. Mepham will be virtual this Friday, April 16th. Staying on the topic of Mr. Mepham, we have one of the contestants in the studio for this week's Around Campus.
Jake's got the week off, so I've moved over for Midweek Update to talk with Dan Angelillo, one of the contestants in this year's Mr. Mepham competition. So welcome to Around Campus, Dan.
Good morning.
So Dan, this year's Mr. Mepham is a bit different than past years. So what makes it so different?
So for obvious reasons, we're not going to be doing Mr. Mepham in person in the auditorium like we normally do. We're instead going to be doing it live on YouTube.
So where can the people stream it?
So the video will be streamed on the BMB YouTube. It will go live on Friday, April 16th at 7 p.m. That's next Friday, and you should all watch.
Little promotion for BMB, I like it. And for people who haven't been here for Mr. Mepham before, what is it? And can you describe the event a little bit for us?
So the event's basically sort of a male beauty pageant and talent competition for, and the students and teachers that are participating are voted in by the student body. That happened earlier this year, and they will participate in a competition where they have to demonstrate a talent and do a catwalk where they do school spirit wear and formal wear. And traditionally, they usually have to answer a random question given to them, but we're not going to do that this year.
Besides watching, how can people get involved in the contest?
You can get involved by participating in the penny wars that's going to be used to determine the winner this year. Normally, we'd pick the winners by voting at the event, but this year instead we're going to have a jar with each contestant's name in the main office. And to vote for a candidate, you can put as many pennies as you want in their jar. And if you want to sabotage a contestant, you can put in silver change or bills into their bucket. Whoever gets the most pennies and the least silver change and bills will be this year's winner. We'll select a student and a teacher.
Most importantly, Dan, are you going to win, and what's going to put you over the top?
I don't know. My act's pretty good this year. I've been working on it for the past couple weeks. But we're gonna have a lot of new contestants and a lot of returning ones. So you guys are going to have to watch. If you don't watch, I'm going to be very upset with you.
So I know you were nominated last year, but were you nominated any other years before that?
I was nominated in my sophomore year, which was 2 years ago, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do it. But I was also nominated again the year after that, and it was a pretty wild night. When we're able to do it in person again, you guys should all come. It's totally worth it. It's amazing.
Well, there you have it. Best of luck in the competition, Dan, and I can't wait to tune in. And now back to AJ and Michele. Keep those seats warm for me.
Thank you, Haley, and thank you, Dan. I wish you luck. Now, let's send it over to Sean McQuillan for This Week in Mepham Sports.
The fall sports season is in the home stretch, and Mepham's teams are playing their final games of the season. Yesterday, the badminton team traveled to Herrick's, the girls' volleyball team traveled to Valley Stream North, and like Hannah just spoke about, the boys' soccer team traveled to Long Beach. Tomorrow, the girls' volleyball team looks to remain dominant when they take a long bus ride to play Elmont. Speaking of this dominant team, BMB will have its cameras at your game next week as the Mepham Pirates will take on the Hewlett Bulldogs. In national news, March Madness has come to an end, and the Baylor Bears have won the NCAA tournament. Congrats to the Bears on their first championship ever in school history, especially beating one of the best teams ever assembled in the Gonzaga Bulldogs. That's all for me. For BMB, I'm Sean McQuillan. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Sean. Now let's send it over to the oh-so-funny Cumulonimbus Charles.
Thanks, AJ. It sure does feel spiffy being back so soon. That spring break was as replenishing as can be. However, we should not dwell too long on the marvels that came before us, because then we would not have the moments of time necessary to really admire the more important things ahead of us. Most notably, what should be a groovy forecast this weekend. Let's jiggy and jive our way into whatever otherworldly weather Mother Nature has to offer. According to both my eyes and my sources, today's going to be a real sleazebag of a day. Cloudy. This past week or so has been an absolute knockout in respect to weather, greatly opposing the tried and true mythology of April showers. Right up until today comes along. Great job, Friday. Today, we will endure an unsurvivable low of 47 degrees and a most sensational high of 53 degrees. I have one more thing to say. Good luck making it to the end of today's BMB morning announcement. On to Saturday. Saturdays have consistently been a usual suspect, and yet again it fails to meet the standard of good weather, being only slightly less sleazy when put in comparison with today. As I highlight the low of 52 and a high of 57, it would be only right to mention that I'm not mad at the weather, just disappointed. One can only imagine the pain of being disappointed in something much beloved. It is only reasonable to presume that with this trend out of the sleaze zone, we could bare minimum expect Sunday to be just that little bit nicer. As it turns out, Sunday is the sleaziest of them all. It's official. There is no hope in escaping the dreaded doozy that the spring showers are. Is all of this some sort of practical joke? You know what? I've had enough of this. I'm out.
Thanks, Charles. And now for today's quote of the day. It's your reaction to the adversity, not the adversity itself, that determines how your life story will turn out.
These have been the BMB morning announcements for Friday, April 9th.
Have a great day, Mepham.
I got the
My hand is so close to you.